Stories come and go, but all adventures have an ending. But I must ask you, my friends, what do you know what happens to the characters and villains once the story is over? Well, I'll tell you. They go to a world called the World of the End. And this is their story.
I feel I am locked away, wishing I could take time back. I don't feel like myself, walking on a bridge to nowhere. We'll wait for you till the end of time. We'll wait for you until the end of time. When I think I'm leaving this behind until the end of
How does a story start? How does a story begin? A question that many writers on your planet have been wondering since the time began. There are so many people thinking that a story has to start with a stupid beginning or a stupid ending. But I must ask with you, my friends, what is a story to you? Well, today I am here to tell you a story about somebody you have never heard of and a place you have never heard. Who am I? Well, I'll tell you in the story. Our story starts on a space station high above the planet Earth. This is a place called the World of the End, a magical place where all famous story characters that never got made protect the name of every single story that will happen and did happen, live in harmony with every human on planet Earth. Because if a story dies, the character dies. My job is to find the heroes that disappeared from their world, never got a story, and helps the people from their world and their stories continue. It was a pretty normal day in the space station. Everyone was working hard, getting things ready for the next hero to arrive. And who is that hero? Well, I will tell you in a minute. I was working hard in the lab, pressing every single button and making sure that the teleportation would actually work. Because if it doesn't, the character will never enter the ship. As I worked hard day in and day out, ready for the big day, I pulled the lever just like old Dr. Jekyll-Einstein, or the guy that always seems to get confused for Frankenstein. Today's story starts with a puff of electricity as our hero emerged from a smoke cloud. As our hero entered out of the pod, we saw that he was wearing an old-fashioned looking explorer outfit, carrying a whip and a pistol that was slightly melted. He didn't really look like his story had been finished, because half of him hadn't been coloured in yet. Some bits were still white and some bits were still coloured in. The mysterious figure looked up and said, "Who are you? Where am I? And why do I look a bit off?" You've probably got a lot of questions, but your story will be told, my friend. The mysterious thing that smelt like ink from a pen grabbed our hero by the shoulder and led him towards a futuristic-looking door. He pressed a button with another tentacle and it opened, revealing a bright light that was so bright our hero had to cover his eyes up with one of his hands. Our heroes looked through the door and saw the most amazing sight. Different heroes from different backgrounds, all doing work. Everywhere he looked were heroes standing next to weird machines, reading papers, and even checking out new equipment and talking to other heroes. He was amazed at what he saw. Minutes later, our heroes entered a very small office. The mysterious black thing sat down on a desk and looked at a file. The file was empty. The mysterious thing began to ask our little friend some questions. He said, looking at the empty file. "It doesn't look like you have a name, or any characteristics. You don't even label it as a good guy or a villain." "What do you mean?" said the mysterious figure. "What's your name, kid? I don't have one." "Well, you're a blank slate, so what about calling you Blank?" That could work. Until we figure out a name for you, mate. "Yeah. Anyway," says the mysterious thing getting up from the desk, "my name is Full Stop, and I am taking you under the wing of all these heroes, and you can start now. What do I have to do?" "Your job is to make sure the stories on Earth do not fall into the hands of evil." "Evil? What do you mean, evil?" "Look, let me explain. This satellite we're in right now is for heroes, but also it takes villains. But to make sure the real horrible maniacs who really deserve to not even touch anything good, they go to Villain Hell." "Villain Hell? What's that?" Our mysterious friend showed him a map pointing to a weird-looking bottom disc thing. "That is Villain Hell, where every single villain from now into the future of the past go. Every single villain you know will all go into this dark abyss of no return. A place of fire, a place of zombies that walk the muck. Everywhere you look, dragons fly and vampires drink blood. And weirdly enough, you can get a 20% off on your pistols when you go to the local coffee house down there." But as Full Stop finished that, there was a knock at the door. "Ah, these must be your partners in crime for your mission on this entire satellite. Come in, my boys, come in." Blank was very surprised, hoping that he would get the greatest heroes ever. But when the door opened, let's just say he was completely surprised of who or what he got to be his partners in crime. Through the doors appeared a guy that looked like Batman, but his costume was more like a rat than a bat. And next to him was a horribly muscular-looking man dressed up in a torn-up military uniform, and all around him were bullets, grenades, and other kind of ridiculous stuff. And under his eyes were these weird black lines under his eyes. And he was wearing an old-fashioned World War II helmet with loincloths and other cool stuff decorated around it. "Blank, I would like you to meet Ratman and Sergeant Paynes. These two were actually cancelled. Their series has no longer been re-emerged since. Ratman was originally the first ever superhero themed around a mammal that didn't fly. But then when Batman came into the play and every superhero decided to go down the dark road, his comic book series was cancelled because the creator couldn't figure out a way to make him dark enough. Plus, he was more a pacifist fighter than any other thing. Yeah, it's true. I still fight crime, but I really don't like fighting hideous beasts. And next to him is Sergeant Paynes, the best Marine that you could ever see. He's the most toughest and most violent man you would ever meet. He has every single weapon you could ever think of, said Full Stop, as he pointed with his tentacle all the grenades and bombs and all sorts around his waist and chest, decorating him. But how come your comic was cancelled? Let's just say when I was around, nobody in their right mind even thought comics could be that violent. My creator tried to be the first ever comic book writer to scare the living daylights out of kids. But would you believe it? G.I. Joe came into the picture in America. And now, every single cartoon back then had to be kid-friendly. And now, in this day and age, you have to be in two separate piles. For adults and for kids. And I wanted to be for kids, but apparently you have to be kid-friendly now. You couldn't even fire a pistol without causing people's parents to go out of hand. Well, in my honest opinion, those people should really feel like we're in a war. I went through 500 issues fighting off enemy forces. Yes, but thanks to you and your stupidness, you caused hundreds of parents to be glad that you don't exist anymore. Yes, sir, said Sergeant Paynes as he sat on a chair. So, you three must work together as a team, and you must make sure that you remember that the reason why I brought you here is to learn the 3 basic rules of being a hero. Sergeant Paynes, your mission is to learn how to love and cherish the people you love. You cannot use violence all the time, using your own strengths against the people who would want to use violence for the wrong reason. And you must protect the people even though you know that they probably won't do anything good in their lives. Ratman, you must learn to be brave. You cannot hide under your cape forever. You must remember that all the things you do are good, and you should remember to put yourself in front of others, because one day you will regret somebody dying in your hands. And blank, you must learn what it means to be a hero, and also learn what you are, or who are you. Correct, my friends? Yeah, I guess so, said Sergeant Paynes. Maybe. I guess so. Good! Your assignment, you three, are to collect some files and just wait for a big mission for you guys to go on. The 3 of them all just got up and left, but as Blank was about to leave, he said to Full Stop, "Do you think I'll ever work with these guys? Trust me, there have been hundreds of partners in crime for those 2, but I think they'll probably like you in the end." Blank just walked off, shaking his head, thinking, why on earth did I even get partnered with these 2? Hey! I may not like it either, but at least we have something together. Well, at least we have a soul, said Sergeant Paynes as the 3 of them left Full Stop's office. As our heroes left carrying a file, they went into a large room filled to the brim with files. Every single filing cabinet had a different hero from a different world or a different reality. But as they were about to go to the new filing cabinets for today's new heroes, like Blank, a mysterious figure walked up to them carrying a box full of files. He went up to them and said, "Ah yes, you must be the new people returning some files. I presume that you are Sergeant Paynes, you are Ratman, and you must be Blank, I presume. And if you're wondering, my name is Dr. History, or if you like to call me, Dr. H. I am 100% a smarty pants, and if you even try saying anything smart to me, I will already know it, because I am literally the definition of history. Good day to you, Sergeant Paynes," as he walked off in a very big hump. Man, I hate that big egghead. You do know technically he runs this place, right? Yeah, but that guy doesn't even know the first thing of fiction stories. The guy keeps telling every single superhero he's doing something inaccurate. Like me. He always tells me that I've got the wrong type of weapons for World War II. I mean, sure, I've got a laser rifle and 1,000 pounds of futuristic grenades in my bedroom somewhere, but in honest opinion, I'm from a fictional world. Fictional worlds don't have to follow rules. Yes, they do! Put a socket at you! He said, as the three of them left towards the filing cabinet. As our heroes finally put the file away, they headed out to get some lunch or something. But as they were going down the hall, Blank saw a mysterious-looking display that was closed down. He looked at it, and it was all covered in dust. He saw a plaque at the bottom and rubbed his hand on it. The Pen of Imagination? What's that? Dearie, do you mind? Said a voice in the back, as a lovely old lady, or whatever, dressed up in a cool-looking outfit, pushing a trolley of cleaning supplies, pushed him out the way and cleaned it. It took me 20 years to clean this thing, and your grubby little fingers are all over it. Sorry, but what is the Pen of Imagination? Oh, it's some tool that the Full Stop boss guy used to use. It was before that machine that he teleported heroes like you or whatever. Alas, the pen was stolen by the King of Villains. The King of Villains lives in Villain Hell or something. Really? Where is it now? Legend has it it's in one of the dark, forbidden halls of this place. An abandoned hall that supposedly used to belong to some Greek characters, but ever since the Minotaur or whatever attacked, everyone vowed never to return. No villain or hero has ever entered that place and never come back alive. And trust me, you do not want to do it. I have tried cleaning that place and I always end up nearly getting massacred by that beast. But nobody has ever entered that place and got the pen. That's why the door is always locked and covered in police tape or whatever. Now if you don't mind, I need to clean a toilet in the 16th floor. Apparently Humpty Dumpty doesn't know the first thing on cutting down on eating chili, as she walked off carrying a plunger and what seemed to be a whisk. And so, our hero decided that today will be the day where he brings back the pen and makes sure that Full Stop gets his glory back. Are you insane? Said Sergeant Paynes when they were at the restaurant bar. Well, it's a good idea, said Blank. We go into the abandoned area, find Full Stop's magic pen staff that makes the heroes appear instead of using that daft machine, and we'll end up helping him. But didn't you hear all those crazy rumors? No villain or even good guy has entered that place alive. I hear that the Minotaur eats them. Oh please, that's a rumor, right? Said Ratman. Yes, it is. Look, if we don't do this, said Blank, we'll end up being just delivery boys for the entire station. And do you want to be remembered as the one guy who got his comic banned because he was too violent? And you, because your world, the world of heroes, couldn't let you guys in? A deep silence went into the two of them. I guess you're right, said Ratman. I don't want to be a wimp all my life. And I don't want everyone to think that I'm a jerk. I'm actually a nice guy. Good. We get the pen, get out, nobody knows. I guess some people will just think we just found it randomly somewhere. So the three of them decided to go into the dark, dark room. And that's what they did. Well, here we are, said Sergeant Paynes, as he pointed to a large door barricaded with police tape and other mysterious items. This is the door that will take us, hopefully, not to the Minotaur, but to the mighty pen. Come on, guys, let's go. But as they were about to enter, a hand appeared beside them, holding the door closed. So you three, I hear that you are going to go and find that pen staff. How do you know? I was at the pub, didn't you know? Who are you? Said, full stop. Full stop. This is Prince Brat, the most brattiest prince in all of the world of the end. Don't you mean princess? A deep silence went into everyone. Prince Brat went bright pink and said, "How did you know I was a girl?" Well, it was obvious, wasn't it? You obviously look like somebody that isn't a bloke. Well, this is awkward, said Rat Man. Look, I haven't done anything interesting like you guys. Can I come with you and explore the darkness with you? I don't really do that much except delivering letters like you. No, said Sergeant Paynes. We don't want some bratty old girl around us. What? It might be interesting. Plus, next to my story world, I've never seen a female before. You can come with us if you want. What are you doing? She'll probably cramp our style. We'll end up looking like a laughingstock if we let her in. It's the right thing to do. We are gentlemen. Come on. So, now the four of them went into the dark abyss. Our heroes went into the dark. It was dark and quiet. Not a single soul was around. Our heroes wandered through the dark halls, walking through puddles of dirty water and tripping over what seemed to be bones. Ratman tripped over and said, "Oh, I must have landed on this radiac," as he dropped what seemed to be a human skull. "Bentley above! This looks awesome as a paperweight. Dude, that could have been somebody you knew." Oh, it must have been Tommy or something. The guy who dressed up as Mickey Mouse wannabe? Yeah, I never liked him anyway. As Sergeant Paynes threw the skull, smashing it against the wall. Well, I hope that didn't have a spirit in it. Oh, please. I guess the Minotaur was some legend, he said as he passed the dark doorway. Suddenly, the sound of smoke filled the air, as the sound of hoofs filled the air too. Our heroes were almost to the room that was supposedly had the famous imaginary pen. "Is this the place?" said Blank. "Sure, the legend goes that this is the room where Full Stop put the pen in before the Minotaur caught up with him. He had to escape." So the three of them went in. As for Sergeant Paynes, he stayed outside just to make sure nothing was coming in. As he was sitting there just playing around with his guns, he heard the sound of footsteps coming towards them. Then something landed right in front of him. Huh? Hey, a chicken leg! I didn't even know anyone that... But then he realized it wasn't a chicken leg! It was a severed arm! And it looked fresh! And as he turned round, he was face to face with the Minotaur, as the thing literally roared down him. "Ah!" he said as he closed the door behind him. "What's wrong with you?" he said, passing out on the floor. "And I thought he was supposed to be a soldier from World War II. Well, those guys didn't have to face up against a Minotaur. Grab the staff and let's get out of here." And that's what they did. They luckily found another door that led out through the same room. The Minotaur busted down the door and literally saw nothing, realizing that the treasure he was protecting was gone. As the four of them ran towards the door, down the hall to the left, down the hall to the right, while being chased by a horrible beast. The time ticked forwards. Are we almost to the door? I don't know! Nobody's ever even used this hall! Look! Said Sergeant Paynes as he pointed to the door. There's a separate door! Look! Quick! We need something to blow the door up before the Minotaur catches up! Luckily I always bring my emergency tiny bazooka! You have one of those? Yeah, just hold still while I fire the gun. And that's what he did. He aimed directly through to the door and... Is everybody alright? Yeah, said everyone. At least we got the staff, said Prince Brat. Hey, where did it go? Said Blank. But then they heard the sound of hoof stomping, and as they slowly turned round, they realized the Minotaur that was chasing them down actually followed them through the door. As everyone literally looked at the thing, it roared and then began to chase after our heroes carrying the staff. Our heroes passed a nearby security guard who was fast asleep, but when the Minotaur barged right through his office and made a hole through the wall, he sounded the alarm as the sound of a World War II siren sounded the room. Hundreds of heroes ran towards their bunkers and grabbed their weapons, swords, axes, potions and other dangerous looking things and charged on the fight. The Minotaur kept chasing down our 4 heroes as our heroes ran towards the office. Suddenly, 4 mysterious figures busted down the door and landed heavily on the floor. What are you guys doing here? And what on earth are you doing with Prince Brat? No time to explain. Is there a way to get rid of a Minotaur? Minotaur? You mean that thing that's been protecting my old staff? Wait, what are you talking about? Just tell us where it is before the whole station gets messed up. The portal leading to Villain Hell is just down the right. But we can't go through there because there's a literal war zone going out there. A deep silence went into everyone, except Full Stop. We must find a way to get somebody out there. I'll do it, said Blank. It was my fault. I wanted to do it so you can get your staff. Wait, Full Stop! But Full Stop ran outside the door and headed through the battlefield. Should we go after him? No. Sergeant Paynes, I think your machine guns will come in handy. How many do you have on you? I think I've got 5 or 6. And I've got a whole supply of ammo back in my bedroom. But I always remember to bring a spare with me. Good. Let's go and fight ourselves a war. Full Stop ran through the entire battlefield, dodging bullets and all sorts as he headed towards the hangar. The hangar was about to be used to evacuate all the heroes. The Minotaur was close behind as he ran towards the hatch that led everyone to the Villain Hell. The hatch was completely barricaded as our hero pulled the lever, opening it. He put the spear or staff down right in front of the area and standing right in front of it. The Minotaur ran towards him, but then, as the second of the moment, Blank used his whip that was slightly melted and threw it up towards the firing points. He pulled on hard and he literally went up. The Minotaur saw him fly up and then fell into the pit. As the final roar we heard as the hatch closed and our hero was saved. Everyone was saved. And he blanked out and fell to the floor. A few days later in hospital, Blank was lying in bed feeling very sorry for himself as Full Stop came to visit him holding a bunch of flowers. "Hello, my friend. I see you're feeling much better." "Yes, but I'm sorry for what I did. You knew it wasn't right, but you did get my magic staff back. And thanks to you, I can retire that machine that teleports people from the story world to this world. You did the right thing, and you also saved millions of lives that could have been lost on that day. And I think you and your new friends agree." "My friends?" Suddenly, Sergeant Paynes, Ratman, and Bratty King came in. "What are you guys doing here?" "We decided to give you a visit," said Sergeant Paynes, holding a box of chocolates. "Well, in my honest opinion," said Ratman, "you did the right thing. In my honest opinion, I would never do that." And as for Princess Brat, she had a bunch of flowers for him. "Thanks. You guys really are the best friends I've never had in my life. And you and all the others. My friends, you are officially a new group of heroes. And with my help, you will make sure that no villain ever messes with a story." And as our heroes sat there enjoying the chocolates and listening to amazing adventures from their world, Blank knew that he wasn't just a rejected character. He was a hero with a new friends. And that's the story of the World of the End.